Today I have Grant Montgomery with me. He's a financial planner with Infinitas KC. Welcome, Grant.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Good to talk to you.
You bet, absolutely, I appreciate it. Hey, we talked a little bit as we were heading this way, talking about doing this video chat, and you told me that in terms of the personal impact on you, you were already doing a lot of remote work, a lot of kind of from your home office work. Is that right?
Absolutely. Do a lot of remote work already. I didn't do as much Zoom work before, but it was typically just over the phone. And then when I work through our back office where they do our technology support and our administrative support, that is all strictly remote. That's always been over the phone, as it is for the many advisors. Our back office, Commonwealth Financial Network, is based in Waltham, Massachusetts, and we have advisors across the entire country, 2,000 advisors. So this is nothing new for us.
Yeah, that's good. So you're pretty well prepared. I've had one or two other folks I've visited with who've have had kind of the same situation. It hasn't impacted them as much as some other folks. So I'm curious, you and I met networking. We both have, that kind of a background. We've been out meeting people, shaking hands, sitting down, having coffees. Has that changed for you? When you typically consult, I guess my question is, when you are advising folks, has a lot of that in the past been face-to-face, in person?
It has. A lot of it has been face-to-face. And we know networking that you don't go into a room with a large group of people and just start handing everybody your business cards. That's just like cold calling, and people just forget your name anyway as they drop your business card in the trash can on their way out of the door. So that's not a good way to go meet people and build relationships. Building relationships is still a one-on-one individual process, getting to know people, understand their background, getting to know them as people, as human beings, not just a thing or a person that represents a company. That's what networking is. And LinkedIn has been really helpful in doing that for me recently. I can learn just a little bit about a person, see where we might have some mutual benefits of working together, and then introduce myself there in a professional manner and build a relationship from there.
Yeah, fantastic. So have your consultations then turned to a virtual sort of an aspect of video chats like we're doing, or emails, that sort of a deal?
They have. I've done several video chats on Zoom. I think people are calling it Zooming now. They've turned it in. They've changed the whole definition of the word.
Yeah, that's good.
Of what Zoom is.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Hey, so I'm curious, the stock markets have had just a roller coaster ride. It's had just drastic swings. I'm guessing that you've had some calls from some of your clients saying, what do I do?
And we've had a few calls, and I will emphasize the few there. We have not had that many calls. The question I normally get from people is exactly what you're saying or similar, is, wow, I bet it must be crazy there. All your clients are calling you worried. But actually, it's just that question. It's not that crazy. Few people are calling with questions, want to see what's going on. Long-term investors understand what is happening in the market now. It's part of the ride, and we're going to get through with it. We set up plans for people that are based on 10, 20, and 30-year timeframes. And some other financial advisors do work in a shorter-term environment. It's just not the way I work. I work with people on a very long-term basis. And this is an opportunity. We're going to rebalance portfolios as the market conditions change. And some people are making more investments into their portfolios as they look and see they have some resources available. And some people are just going to continue to add money to their accounts on a monthly basis. Systematic investing, dollar cost averaging, which most people are familiar with. And that's where you take advantage of the market's down. And I'm just going to keep adding money to maybe my 401k or my Roth individual retirement account. Keep adding just incremental amounts there and getting it for a lower price when we're buying in now.
That's good. So your advice is just pretty much steady on, stay the course, ride out this turbulent time, and at some point the market will rebound and we'll be back on normal footing.
That's right. This is an event-driven bear market, And typically history has shown that these type of situations lead to a market recovery in a period of months versus years. And if your goals haven't changed, if you're 45 and planning to retire at 65 or 75, you've got plenty of time to continue to ride it out, stay the course now, and we'll just make adjustments as we go.
Hey, now I know this is, I'm kind of blindsiding you with this, I guess. It just kind of popped into my mind. But what are your thoughts? What's your take on the economic stimulus plan that the government has come up with?
It's
Small question for you there.
Easy question. You get those all the time. The government says it freely discusses that it's imposed this on us. It's forced. March was canceled. April is canceled, and we've got the business not locked down, but things are at a very much lower pace. And the government acknowledges that it really needs to help backstop that. This wasn't something that anybody did intentionally here, business related in the US, and the government wants to help provide its resources. And it really is going all in with resources. The Federal Reserve, the government has done so much more now in just a period of weeks than it did in a period of months in the Great Recession of 2007, 2008.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Hey, a couple other questions. Have you seen any, I haven't honestly, but have you seen any scams kind of rise up, pop up in the financial, planning area that folks are reaching out to people with some hot, get rich, quick sort of schemes or anything like that? Have you come across anything like that that folks should be aware of?
Yes, this is a time when scams do pop up, as you mentioned. A lot of them are asking for your information based on testing for COVID-19 or things along those lines that you're just like, that everyone is so super aware of, like, oh, I have to do this. Somebody called about this and they're from the government and they're from the IRS and they're calling about this. I really need to take this seriously. The IRS does not call people. We all should know that they send you a letter. If you owe them money, they send you a letter.
Good deal. Hey, on a personal basis, I'm wondering, has your business slowed a little bit, or are you still, it sounds like you're really actively using LinkedIn to reach out and connect with folks. What besides that, what other changes, if any, has this forced on you, on your day-to-day kind of operation?
My changes are really what we've already discussed, going to a Zooming, making a few more Zoom conference calls, video calls, but still talking to clients on a daily basis that they have been working with. And when people feel they need a change or they need some help with their individual finances, they're still calling and getting in contact, because those are part of things in life that just goes on anyway. And when people are ready to make a change, they want to make the change then.
Yeah, very good. Hey, are there, I talked with Ken McCrae, an attorney we both know, and there were potentially some challenges for him in terms of document, signatures required, actual physical signatures. Have you run into any of that, or can all of your stuff be handled virtually with electronic signatures?
We're at about 95 to 97% DocuSign or online signatures. There are just a very few things that we need a hard copy wet signature on. And we can take that as an email and a scan.
Yeah, very cool. Well, hey, look, Grant, thank you. I'm kind of at the end of my questions. Is there anything you'd like to add? Any advice that you have folks to help all of us just kind of stay calm and focused during this time?
One of the things that I hear coming up over and over during this is, let's hunt for the good. Let's look for something positive every day. I feel it's my job to be optimistic for people and try and keep your routine, as much as it's been upset, where you can find a routine, keep your routine and for personal and for your family. Children really need routines. Help them have a routine and give them an opportunity for some input on their routine. They've got the chance now. It's not the structured school environment for moms and dads that are now homeschooling. Maybe it's start the day with calling one of their grandparents or something, but try and develop new routines and keep those routines going. but look for the positive. Look, I served as an Army veteran 20 years. I was a United States Army officer. I've been through so many situations that we would look around each other and think, how are we going to get out of this? This just can't get any worse. It can always get worse. There's always another way to look at the perspective, talk to someone else, and there is a way to get through it. It's going to pass. This too shall pass. So if you need to find a new routine, do that. However it is, you can't go to your CrossFit gym and work out. You're working out on your back porch or in your basement. I see that, and it just really makes me remember how much the American spirit is still alive, and the country's going to get through this.
Fantastic. Hey, Grant, thanks so much for taking time. Really good to catch up with you. Thanks for your perspective on things.
You as well, Tim. Absolutely.